2007, 2008, I had finished secondary school as of the time I was trying to get admission, and I had this friend who was also a neighbor. He was into fraud. You know, I was an actor as of the time. I was making my 50, 100K sometimes, you know, decent pay. But this guy was heavily into fraud. He does online scamming, and I watched this guy. He bought FX35. As of the time, it was 9.5 million. You know, sometimes he shows me credit alert, 36 million, 38 million, and he made me look stupid. He said, "Yeah, small boy, how much are you making?" You know, he made my legit work look like crap. And deep down, I knew that fraud was wrong, but I didn't know the consequences. I started considering it, to be very frank. I said, maybe, just maybe, you know, this might work. And deep down in my spirit, I was not comfortable. Now, listen to me and please pay attention to what I'm saying. If you're a guy or a woman, anything you want to do and you begin to get a red check, how do you know? You begin to have a panic attack, palpitations, a red light. Don't do it. Your spirit is not comfortable with it, and your spirit will never lie to you. If you're about to date this guy or marry this guy, and he looks nice and everything looks good and everything, there is no physical problem, but in your spirit you're getting a red check. Watch that thing and pray. Be careful. If you're a man and you're about to get into a contract and you notice that the paperwork is nice, everything, this guy seems legit, but your spirit, especially if you're a Christian, because you see, we are not animals. Your spirit is older than you. Your spirit sees before and after. Your spirit knows more than you. Be careful. So I was having that check in my spirit. I said, you know, I tried to just, because that is what this fraudsters do. The devil shows you, justifies the action. It tells you, after all, these white people scammed them because they took what your forefathers worked for. Who is your forefather? How did you know that they were even taken in as slaves? That, yeah, take it, after all. They have, you know, they try to paint it to look nice. And when I bought the laptop and I bought modem to start, that thing became heavy. I said, okay, let me even know what the Bible says about this thing. And of course, with the help of my pastor, with the help of my pastor, I saw more than 38 places the Bible mentioned about fraud and the consequences of people that do it. I'm going to be showing you about 5 of it, all from Proverbs, and I want you to understand that anything the devil is trying to give you is what God has already given you, but you don't want to wait to get it. Delayed gratification. Somebody say, what are you talking about? Proverbs chapter 28 from verse 20. The trustworthy person will get a rich reward, but a person who wants quick riches will get into trouble. These are not my words. This is the word of God. It's from Proverbs. Now, I don't know if maybe you're not comfortable with that one. I'm going to read another one for you. Proverbs chapter 16 from verse 8. Better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest. Proverbs chapter 13 from verse 11. Wealth from get rich quick scheme quickly disappears. Wealth from hard work grows over time. Proverbs chapter 10 from verse 2. It says, fainted wealth has no lasting value, but right living can save your life. Proverbs chapter 28 from verse 20. Okay, I've read that. There are more than 38 places in the Bible that this is mentioned. So what actually is the problem? The devil tries to sell to you what you already have. Do you know it's not everybody that does fraud that succeeds? Yes, I've seen people that have been doing it for how many years? They have not picked the word they use. Why? Because what the devil does is that he sees those ones that are destined to be rich. But because you are too quick to get it, he presents it in what looks easy, but what you don't know is that he just exchanged with something that will destroy you. So what I do is, before I get involved in anything, I go and I ask myself, who are the people that have been doing this thing and what are the consequences? My uncle died of smoking and drinking, and I know if I follow that path, thinking that I'm having fun, that is how I'm going to end up. I'm going to destroy my liver. And I check even the people doing drugs. The greatest of them all, of course, Pablo Escobar. You guys know his story. Was worth more than $35 billion. Burying money everywhere. He died, and that money did not. Of course, he died in a very horrible way at 40-something years old. Listen to me. The devil gives you what you already have. Listen to me, if you are a young person, you need to understand this. The devil is not interested in what God is not interested in. I tell people that whenever I see the devil do something, I get motivated. Somebody said, that's a controversial statement. How can you say that kind of thing? I said, because I know that he does not create. So whenever I see the devil give people from his kingdom, it means I have the original. Because he copies from God. If you see an iPhone on the road, they're selling for 10K. Let's say iPhone 11 Pro Max, 10,000. You know it's not original. But because you want people to see that you have something, you go and buy it. And somebody pays the price, saves money for years to buy the original. You know that even if somebody that has the eye for originality, once he sees your own, you know that something is wrong with this phone. And that is the spirit God gave each and every one of us. I don't understand it. You say you're a Christian, you have the spirit of God, and you cannot discern when somebody that calls himself a pastor begins to do something that is not in the Bible. I don't understand it. Most of them will come to me, they send me emails because we carry a spirit of truth. It's the spirit of discernment. You know. So you compare this to the next week your phone begins to have problems. You now wonder, why is my phone? You bought it for 10,000, something that is worth over half a million. More than half a million. So what happens? Because we don't want to pay the price to get the original thing, we want to go with what the devil is giving us, and by that destroyed our very soul. Young people, listen to me. The reason why you are going through what you're going through, the reason why, especially most of you that are considering fraud, the reason why they are put is because you don't want to pay the price. There is a price for it. Somebody said, okay, so that laptop that I wanted to use to do fraud, what did you do with it? I took it to the church. There was a project they wanted to do. They wanted to build a church. I didn't have the raw cash. I sold it. I said, use the money and build church. I knew I was supposed to be rich, but there was a problem with my foundation. And that is what I want to bring your attention to. Most of you, you've seen what God wants to do with you. Even some of these guys doing fraud, they know. Because if you don't have a great destiny, there are some people that will go to Baba. Baba will say, it will not work. There are people that will go to Baba, they will because the negative supernatural sees your star. Yes. So when they say things, you think that they are saying, no, they see your star. I was working with a man, a quick story. Was working with a man in Abuja many years ago, and this man kept on saying in Igbo, "Na star ga na achakwa, star ga na acha." Now, this man, I don't know if he was bisexual, because making advances at me, and he had a girlfriend, and it was later on I realized that he was diabolical. And he was trying everything he could. He said, please, let us date. I will give you whatever you want. He had money. It was later, started confessing. that I had a star. Because his friend, who was also in the same construction business, saw me and told him, have you not seen this boy? This boy's star is shining. Ladies, be careful the kind of people you're with. There are men that all they do, that is why there is nothing God cannot restore. So I'm not saying this to scare you. There are people, you are doing well, everything was going fine, and you begin to date this man or to sleep with this man, and you realize that you just died inside. You're still alive, but there is no life inside of you anymore. Something has been taken from you. You try and try and try, everything dries up. God can restore it. But why is this happening? Because of delayed gratification. Before you engage in anything, go through the Bible. Ask yourself, what is the word of God? How come we believe what the Babalawo says to the last letter? How come we believe what this Oga says or what Mr. President says, but what the creator of the universe says about you, you're having problems to believe? How can you buy a phone? Apple builds a phone and puts the manual of that laptop inside this thing and say, for you to understand how best this works, you need to read the manual so that the product will last for you and so that you know how best to use the product. We understand that, we read that to understand it, but most people, what they do is they throw the manual away and try to use their common sense to figure out how the product was. We are the product, God is the manufacturer. The word of God is the manual for this life. When life was given, the manual was given. There is nothing that is new under the earth. Everything you see happening today has happened before, and it was recorded in this book. But what most of us want to do is we want to throw the truth away and try to figure out how life works. Everything you have seen me do and become, I got it from here. You cannot throw away the manual for life and expect to understand life. So when you begin to understand, for example, in the Bible, when God says that we are ambassadors of Christ, so you put it in a literal meaning. What does an ambassador? Who is an ambassador? Of course, you understand, an ambassador is somebody that is sent from his country to another country to represent the affairs, especially when it comes to foreign affairs of that country where he's coming from to this place. And what usually happens is that the country he comes from sponsors every activity he's doing in this other country. Sometimes they even bring furniture from that country to his house. Even if that country is going through financial problem, economic recession, it doesn't affect him. Why? Because he is not living from the economy of the country he's in. He's living from the economy of the country that sent him. We are ambassadors of Christ. Let me tell you the truth, and I'm saying this without humility. During this COVID period that people are crying and saying that things are going wrong, I have closed more deals, I have done more contracts this period than even before the coronavirus. Why? Because we are in the world, but we are not of the world. Even though we are here, we are not from here. So what happens is that my economy is not from this world, it's from the heavenlies. And this is not just a promise made to me, William Tuchemba. It's made to whoever believes what it is here. And agrees and accepts Jesus as his Lord and personal Savior. I'm not into cock and bull story. This Bible is not a hoax. It's not a religious book. It's a manual for life. Everything you've seen me become from the age of 14 since I gave my life to Christ up until now, everything you have celebrated was made possible by the power of God. So who told you that you have to do fraud to make it? Who told you that you have to deceive people to make it? Who told you that you have to lie to make it? That will only take you to your early grave, and the consequences is heavy. I don't want that kind of wealth that I'm be sleeping and my one eye is closed, one eye is open because I'm scared of EFCC. I don't want that kind of wealth that I'll be sleeping and I'm scared, I'm panicking because I took what does not belong to me. I don't want that kind of wealth where there is no peace, in the house I bought with 2 billion. That is not the promise of God. Why don't you pay the price? Why don't you pay the price? If you want to eat fast food, it's very fast. You eat it before you know it, you're hungry again. But if you want an actual food that will feed you, it takes time to make. Anything that you see God makes, He takes time to build. Jesus executed His plan on earth for 3 years, but it took Him more than 18 years building it. There was an 18 years missing life of Jesus. What was He doing? He was schooling. He was in school. He was being trained for the particular thing God has called Him to do. I didn't start touching money in a huge capacity in one night. No, it started with being faithful with 10K. What kingdom projects are you on? You've allowed people deceive you and tell you how you shouldn't. Okay, now the COVID-19 has shut down the churches. How is your life? You are attacking pastors, you are attacking churches. You are talking against the very foundation that will make you who you are, that the Bible has said will use to make you who you are. Okay, now you are in the house. What is your life like? I have been faithful. 10K, I pay my tithes. I make sure I do kingdom investments. I make sure my money has to do with charity. It has to. Why? It was an instruction. It's an instruction that is given from the Bible. Why is it that we always believe what the Babalawo tells us to the last letter, what the president tells us, but what God, the ultimate Father and the creator of the universe, the instructions He gives us, before we are born, He knew us and appointed us. And He has given us instructions to make this life easy. We don't want that one. Young people, we have to do better. Listen, we need what we call a paradigm shift for you to see the change. Just a few years ago, I was going back to New York. There was a serious, that was when they said Nigeria is one of the first fraudulent countries in the world. And I got to the airport. And the TSA people, these border people in New York, JFK, they stopped me. They said, "Who are you?" I explained who I am. Okay, what I did, I explained everything. They didn't believe it. Why? Because I had a green passport. And they took me to a room and they held me for 14 hours interrogating me. Because I smelled good, I dressed well. They started checking on my things. They saw the card of one of my friends who is a lawyer in the US. He said, "What is a lawyer's card? What are you doing with a lawyer's card?" That means you have a job. You're trying to work illegally in the US. There was nothing these people did not do just because I had a green passport. Finally, they saw what they thought was something. They saw passports of some of my delegates, because as of the time, I was the deputy Nigerian youth rep to the youth assembly. And I had the delegates, my students, the people we take for the conference every winter and summer. I had their data on my phone. They said, "Yes, we got it. You are a visa fraudster." I said, "Okay, if that is what you're saying, call the people that you've seen their informations. Ask them about me." This particular day, Showore was also in JFK. I saw him. He will remember this day. I said, "Check." They interrogated me. At the end of the day, I told them, "Send me back to Nigeria. I don't want any of this. I have done everything. I have told you everything, but you don't want to believe because I had a green passport, because of the perception you have about my country. Send me back to Nigeria. I don't want again." Everything was legit, but they needed a proof because there is no way. Finally, they let me go. But I got home that night and I got broken. Nigeria is blessed. Our young people are blessed with everything. We are talented. We have mineral resources. We have wealth. We don't have to do fraud. We don't have to get into the things we get into to spoil the name of this country. Even the people in the diaspora are even going through so much. If you type Nigeria on Google, what you will see is, do not travel to this country. The people that are doing the legit job, they are not looking at them with one eye. Why? Because some people have decided to soil the name of this country. We can do better. Listen, by the grace of God, I am not hungry. If I can do it in Nigeria and make it legitly, what makes you think you cannot? We need to change the narratives. It's time to build a new Nigeria. It's time for us to change this for our nation. It's time for us to change this for our people. There is nothing good about fraud. There is nothing good about ill-gotten wealth. Our leaders have made some mistakes. Our fathers have made some mistakes. It's time for us to clean that foundation and start a new one. Everybody and anybody can make it in this country. Expatriates come into this country because we are rich. God has blessed us. Let us do better. And I pray God helps us to do better. And listen to me, if this video gets to you and you're a white person and you already have your mindset on what you think Nigeria is, you're wrong. Come to Nigeria and I will show you talents. People that work day and night to make legit works for themselves. Come to Nigeria and I will show you the entertainment industry that is making so much money and is making waves in the world. Come to Nigeria and I'll show you our agriculture. Come to Nigeria and I will show you things that the news will not show you. You can have your opinion all you want, but this is a great nation. Our fathers and our leaders might have gotten it wrong, but I assure you and I tell you one thing. There is a new generation of people that you wish you made business with. There is a new set of people that are arising that will make your perception change about this country for good. Ban us all you want. Call us anything you want. We're not going to allow some few bad eggs spoil the hard work and what the legit people have done in this country. No. We are more than 200 million in this country. And you cannot cancel us because of less than 1% of people that have decided to take a bad route. This is a blessed nation. This is a blessed nation. As COVID-19 is ravishing every other place, there is God on our side. He knows we don't have what it takes to battle it. I'm not saying it's not in Nigeria. But this is a blessed nation. And if you take us our last blood to get it right, we will. If you're a young person and you want to make a turn, you want to change, you can't do it on your own. You can't. You can't do it on your own. I couldn't have been here without it. Everything you see me was because of the grace and the power of God in my life. If you leave me, I'll probably be in the village, maybe stealing or getting people pregnant or living a useless life. That is why it is important you know who Jesus is. You have a relationship with God. You can still get, now that you've not entered trouble, you can stop. It won't end well. You just have pleasure for a year, 2, 3, maybe 10, but you will pay for it. And if you want to have a change of heart and have a new heart and take on a new turn, you can make this simple but yet powerful prayer, because you cannot get the covering and the protection of the kingdom of heaven without first being a citizen of heaven. And for you to do that, you need to accept Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior. So you're going to make this quick prayer with me. And after we are done with this prayer, you become a completely new person. Now, sometimes you might see the traits of some of the old habits, but guess what? The body is still the same. The body of the car is still the same, but the engine is a brand new one. Make this prayer with me. Say, Lord Jesus, I am sorry for I've been a sinner. Forgive my sins. Cleanse me from all unrighteousness. Today, I renounce the devil and I accept you as my Lord and personal Savior. Be my God, be my Savior. Remove my name from the book of hell and put it in the book of heaven. Remove my name from the book of death and put it in the book of life. Today, I accept Jesus into my life as my Lord and my personal Savior. Holy Spirit, be my guide, be my protector. Thank you, Lord, for in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Congratulations, you are a new citizen. Have a beautiful day. Bye.